Evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Olive Town Board. We all rise to say the pledge. Sarah, you want to start us off on this one?
Sure, thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, would you please do the roll call?
Sure. Board Member Maldonado.
Here.
Board Member Vargas.
Here.
Board Member Edinger.
Here.
Board Member Hemingway Lynch.
Here.
And Supervisor Sefranco.
I am here. You've all had a chance to review the minutes of the January 13th regular meeting and the public hearing held on that date. Can we get a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
That's right.
Any opposed? All right. We have a number of announcements. The State of the Town address by myself and Deputy Supervisor Bajas will be held this year at 6:30 p.m. on February 26th at the Olive Free Library in West Shokan. The New York State DEC will hold a public meeting to discuss DEC land use in West Shokan on February 24th at the Town of Olive Meeting Hall in Shokan, right here. The town will be announced. They were supposed to give me some promotional material, but they have not provided anything to me yet. That will be discussing the land purchases that they made over the last few years off High Point Mountain Road in West Shokan. That is now, it was made by the Open Space Institute and now transferred to the New York State DEC. And they want to have a public meeting about access to that property and public use of public lands and how it might impact that neighborhood. The senior art program meets weekly on Monday mornings at the Legion Hall, and they have been, they do painting, sewing, knitting, crocheting, and quilting. And the group has completed 20 quilts, which are available free of charge to any community members who could use them. This information was kindly provided to us by Marianne Schultes, who stopped by the town's clerk office this week. And anybody interested in receiving a quilt can contact Kim Daly, the town clerk, for details. There is an ongoing open position on the Olive Conservation Advisory Council. If anyone is interested, please send me a letter of interest to my email address, which is on the website. And I'd like to make a public acknowledgement of appreciation to the Olive Fire Department for the amount of work they've done since January 1st. This winter has been a brutally cold winter with harsh conditions, and they have had, what's the number we're up to, Gene? 37 calls to date.
One
One more.
Since January 1st. And many of these have been structure fires that required overnight, work in sub-zero freezing temperatures, which, as the chief explained to me, meant not only trying to manage the fire, but also manage the safety of their crew and to bring the trucks and rotate the trucks in so they don't freeze up and the water freezes in them. So it's a really challenging environment they've been working in. So I'd like to make a motion that we send a letter of appreciation to the Olive Fire Department for the work they've done since the beginning of the year in these harsh winter conditions.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The Shokan Sewer District, we have contracts are signed, and there's some details being worked out for insurances and things, and that process is getting underway. But there are a number of lateral agreements still out there for people in the sewer district that we are waiting to receive. So if you are, I just sent a letter out requesting people fill out their lateral agreements to please send them in because they are required for you to get a hookup. And if you don't have a lateral agreement and you don't get a hookup, you are required to hook up, and that will be at your expense. So a fair warning to please get those lateral agreements into our office. I also wanted to make an announcement that there was a hack of our internet somewhere, and it involved the planning board and ZBA, and it was only a one-time thing, and it appeared to be about maybe a half a dozen applicants or people in process or recently completed processes with the planning board and the ZBA who received a letter demanding, notifying them that they owed fees, and they all had the same fees, which were like $6,900 and some dollars that were completely false. And the email address ended in .usa, which is not us. If you received one of these, you can call the town office. Don't have to worry about it. But we did put it out on our website and on Facebook to notify people. We haven't received any checks for $6,900 and some dollars, which is fortunate. And the federal authorities have been notified of the hack.
Was that a natural hack, or just did they take the public information off?
I don't know. I heard a rumor today that it was done nationwide.
Yeah, they probably just scraped the minutes.
Yeah, I have
Sort
no
of over
idea.
there.
But thank you,
That's how I do
AI.
it.
Thank you, AI.
Jim, I have a question.
Yes,
The sewer district,
yes.
is there a place where that we can get a letter, those letters that,
The letters
if you haven't,
the letters were sent to individual homeowners because they have the map of their property. It shows where they're gonna come in.
Right.
And we've already had one person come in and said, well, that's something I talked to them about. So they wanted to make sure that the map was amended to be what they feel. So they're gonna meet with the engineers. There's still some opportunity to do that, but the time is running out.
Right,
But
so-
there is no generic letter.
there's no generic agreement that was?
Yeah, they're
the
usually
agreement that was
specific
sent
to
out?
that property.
Oh, they are
Yeah,
specific?
I
Okay.
mean, I could see if there's a generic one without the property put in if you wanted.
That we could put the property, and the reason I ask is because I know of a property in Shopton that's within the sewer district, that's in a trust,
Right,
and so I don't know how well it's being monitored,
right.
and maybe they didn't make the arrangement.
If
to
they make the call
do
to
that.
us, we can have the legal firm reach out to them and tell them how to navigate that. We've had a couple of trusts already, but we don't send them out. The law firm sends them out because they have to have the map and the address attached to it,
Right.
because it's very specific to that property.
Okay, thanks.
Okay? I think that's it, right, for announcements here. Correspondence. Resident Christopher Scheller of Shokan sent a letter to the town board regarding special condition number 10 of the New York City water supply permit under the land acquisition program. We also received a response from Ulster County Planning Board to the comprehensive plan, and those comments will be integrated into that. We did receive a letter from Chara Chase regarding some activity with his family and the planning board. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a cough. We did receive a letter that I'd like to read because we have a little time here. From Kara Grant from Beechford Drive in Boyceville. Good morning. I'm writing to offer my sincere thank you for our town's amazing first responders. On Saturday, 1/31/26, my father woke up with severe difficult breathing, chest pains, and numerous other symptoms. My father alerted me, and I called 911. About 3 minutes later, a young officer named Jordan Berrien showed up to our home, and I took him to my dad. Jordan was absolutely professional, courteous, and knowledgeable. My son's going to school to be a police officer and saw him as such an inspiration. About 10 minutes later, the Olive ambulance showed up. I work for a fellow municipality, so I see first responders quite often. However, these three stood out. I wanted to make sure that 3 of these first responders know just how lucky we are in the community to have them. A young man came to the door named Sean Crum and immediately went to see my father shortly after. A young lady named Dina, or Deanna, followed with her medical bag. Deanna immediately started working on my dad's vitals and offered such compassion and kindness while Sean was calling the other ambulance for assistance. Deanna was able to calm my dad down and who was starting to become slightly panicked about his situation, and kept him calm the entire trip. There was no hesitation, no coldness, and nothing but absolute compassion and kindness. The town of Olive is extremely lucky to have these three on their front lines. My father was taken to the hospital, followed by ALS, and swiftly treated. We are lucky to say he was released after an overnight stay in back home. The entire time we were in the hospital, he spoke of how sweet Deanna was and how neat it was to see someone so young and knowledgeable on the Olive Police Force. Please make sure that the three of them are aware of just how much we appreciate them and the compassion they have for our community. Should anyone ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Please thank the three of them from my family. I don't have an office email address for the ambulance chief, but please relay this to them, which we did. So I thought that was a nice letter for people to hear. We often get letters that aren't as nice.
I would like to mention Jordan Berrien is the new officer. He's only probably been on duty maybe a month.
You to speak a little louder there, Drew.
Okay, will do.
And we did receive some emails from Allison Irwin and Cheryl McNulty regarding the documents that are on the website for the town board meetings, and we are looking into making it a little better for that, for your use there. Public be heard. Would anyone like to address the board?
You go first. Oh, okay. All right, so
Well, come on up. We've got to come on
I
up
don't
here.
want to come up.
Well, you're on the camera. That's where we
I
have
have
to see
a
you.
cold, so I'm not gonna breathe.
Sorry.
Anyway, so
And you are?
I'm Allison Irvin. Hi.
Thank you.
So anyway, I had two things, but I wanted to say thanks for looking into the downloading. It used to be so easy. I sent you 3 different variations on how you did it. Like, it used to be you'd see every specific document and you could see, oh, I want to go see what this site plan looks like, and I could click on it and it would go to someplace on the Olive web and it would bring me there and I could look at it and be done with it. But now, the last time, I had to actually download it to my computer and do it that way. So I don't think, especially when you're talking about how you're getting hacked, that I really want to be downloading anything from you guys. Thank you. And the other thing is, so with the comprehensive plan, every time you guys talk about the comprehensive plan, everybody says, well, we didn't get that much input, not really much, people didn't have much to say. And I really kind of disagree. We tried to be nice about it, and in most cases we had 2 minutes to say it, but a lot of people were saying we really didn't like in Shokan that you were going to be rezoning everything, because that's what you're going to be doing, because in the housing or the zoning meeting, they said as soon as the comprehensive plan is done, then we'll be moving to change the zoning, so we're just waiting for that to happen. And, so anyway, when you guys say, well, everybody got to do the survey and everybody got to go to these meetings, it was all open meetings, it's like, yes, I went to the meeting, everybody went to meetings, everybody did the survey, and the question isn't, was there an opportunity to say what you wanted? The question was, did you guys in the comprehensive plan do what we in Shokan asked you that we wanted to do? And I don't think you did. And I think that you guys kind of blow us off over here in Shokan. You're saying, oh, well, nobody really had anything to say. It's not such a big deal. Everybody seems fine with it. And I don't agree. So every time I hear you guys say, well, everybody could, we did surveys, we did this. It's like, it doesn't actually match what we said. No rural character in rezoning 4 to 10 per whatever. And then the other thing is the public hearing of the forbidding of buying land in the Shokan sewer district. I just sent a note to, first of all, thanks to Jim for explaining where it actually was on that map there, because it's a little confusing. Second of all, thanks for the response that I had questions further and you answered me. But now I guess I wonder is if you guys already decided in the 5-year plan or whatever it was that you decided all this in, and you know exactly what areas they're going to buy and which are forbidden to buy and which can be solicited, and then what is the public hearing for? Is it just for show? I mean, if you guys already decided all this, then why are we having a public hearing so that we can say we in Shokan would rather that you did let DEP buy land so that you don't develop every single possible place into housing? So anyway, and I thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just say, you always look down.
anytime anyone talks, they all look at me.
I'm reading,
And you look
I'm
down.
reading the agenda, make sure I'm
But you
I'm
look
on
down.
track here. I'm not trying to ignore.
No, it's
I'm
just,
not falling asleep.
it's
Thank
just
you.
an observation. Everybody
Okay.
looks but you.
Okay, and I will remember you, we have 3 minutes. You just made your 3 minutes, right?
Is that what you're doing, timing me?
Yeah, I have a timer on. See, there it goes, look at it.
Okay,
I should have done it as an alarm, huh?
your turn.
David, you know how to do this stuff, right? Anyone else?
Yes, I'd like to speak.
Mr. Hubbard, before you begin,
Yes, sir.
you want to speak?
Yes, sir.
I want to make a quick statement
Yes, sir.
about your, before you speak. The town board has growing concerns regarding certain actions, specifically reaching out to town officials on their personal cell phones regarding town business. Furthermore, some of the correspondence of town officials have been concerning in tone and substance. While we recognize that you have the right to seek information from the town and present concerns to the town, please do so through appropriate channels and without being confrontational. As the town board has reiterated time and time again, all your complaints have been investigated, even where your cooperation has been limited. I understand your frustration regarding the fact that you are being disciplined for what the town views as serious misconduct, but from the town's perspective, that frustration is misplaced and raises further concerns with the town board that the seriousness of these actions may not be fully appreciated. No, quote, cover-ups have occurred. In fact, appropriate remedial action has been taken in connection with your complaints after a full investigation, including those that occurred many years ago that you failed to disclose within a time period that any disciplinary action could be taken. Furthermore, you are not being inappropriately targeted in any way. It is my understanding that you were recently found by a court to have committed the exact acts that the town alleged constitute misconduct. This demonstrates that the town has valid reasons to seek discipline against you. The actions that you have alleged others in the department have engaged in that have occurred while they were employed by the town have all been addressed and remedial action taken, demonstrating that there is no disparate treatment. As you provide information, that information is also reviewed. As such, the town is taking all steps to review these concerns that you've raised. We've told you time and time again to provide your complaints and all information that you may have. Instead, this forum appears to be used in an attempt to skew perception of your disciplinary matters. While we believe in your right to present your concerns so the public be heard, litigating your disciplinary action in this context seems inappropriate. The town board again asks that you have information that you wish to provide for investigation. The town will continue to review it, despite allegations to the contrary and limited cooperation in these investigations.
That was over 3 minutes.
Would you like to speak?
Sure, I would.
I don't have a 3 minute.
So, I understand what you say, but I don't believe the investigations have been done correctly. My name is Jason Hubbard. I will provide everybody here right away, off the thing here. This is the information that I received in last month. That proved that police commissioners, Sean Ryan, all knew about the gun, and they all lied about it. Okay? Multiple phone calls, multiple text messages and multiple lies. Chief Ryan was asked in front of the town supervisor and in front of council if he had left his gun in the bathroom. He denied those allegations in front of you. Here's a text message from the police commissioner back and forth that state, yes, he knew about it. The other police commissioner didn't want to discuss it, and they should tell the town board. But the town board was never notified, and it was covered up. So that asks me, what else has been covered up? That's what I'm asking. What else has been covered up, Mr. Franco? This was going to blatantly show that there's a problem here. Okay? Chief Ryan lied about being in the hospital. I will bet my entire retirement paycheck and my home on it if you think I'm lying. Okay? If there's been an investigation done, it wasn't done correctly, and it wasn't done thoroughly. I can provide the names to an outside agency, and I will. Number two, I will be taking my complaint to the Attorney General's office because I don't think it's been looked at correctly. There's no way the town has done investigations without ever asking me a question. When I told you Chief Ryan sped in the police car and even said in my document that I have proof. You never asked a question, sir. You never provided anything. You did your own investigation without saying anything and said it was unfounded. So, yes, I take responsibility for the action with my sister. But if you're gonna take that action with that, then you have to take other actions with the police chief. Because he knew he did stuff and he lied about it. And that's a terminating offense for a police officer when he lies. You have not terminated his employment. He's lied repeatedly multiple times and nothing has happened. The lying and the speeding was a misdemeanor crime when he did it, and then he provided false information, which is another misdemeanor crime, and this town has covered it up. So you can say that you've done everything you need to do, but you're trying to terminate me for stuff that I did multiple years ago, but you're not gonna terminate Sean Ryan for multiple years ago for stuff he did. You guys asked me in my hearing about stuff that was 5, 6 years old from 2017 and brought me up on charges from it. But we're not gonna bring Sean Ryan up on something that happened in 2022? I don't understand how that's a fair standard, sir. What is the town gonna do to make it fair or not fair here? You say, oh, we've done everything fair? I don't think you have. I believe somebody in the town board already knows that Sean Ryan was in the hospital. I've already had questions from the town's attorney about it. So how does nobody not know? How long does cover-up gotta go on? I know my time's up, I got it. But I can assure you that I'm not going away until my stuff is proven. You can terminate my employment, Jim, that's fine, okay? But if Sean Ryan lied and the police commissioners lied, did they also lie about the reason for my termination? That's what I'm asking. When does the lie stop? Those documents will provide that the police commissioners knew about it. Kurz knew about it. The other one knew about it. I don't know if Earl knew, but in that document they knew. Bob didn't want to be on the record. It says right in the thing, he doesn't want to be on the record. He doesn't want to send a text message. Back and forth. So when does it stop? You guys have said all the stuff I've done wrong, but you carry me to this standard, but Chief Ryan gets carried to a separate standard. Why is that all right? Why is it?
Your time is up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, any other public be heard here?
See you next time.
Okay, budget modifications. General fund, I make a motion to decrease A1410.100 town clerk personnel for $2,750 and increase A1410.400 town clerk contractual for $2,750. This is to reallocate unexpended town clerk personnel funds to contractual services for the purchase of accounting software. And I got a second for that. Ooh, boy, you guys are anxious. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I make a motion to approve the following vouchers for payment. Highway Fund vouchers number 4 through 29 for $33,511.11. General Fund vouchers number 30 through 78 for $51,682.71. Special lighting voucher number 1 for $195.18. And Boyceville project number 6 for $870.99. Can I get a second to approve those vouchers for payment?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, we're moving right along. The cash received in December interest was $13,565.45. And the December cash received, I should say, was $328,745.01. Additional business and resolutions. Take a little sip of water here. Resolution number 3 of 2026 to transfer reserve funds for office computer equipment. Whereas the Town of Olive in Resolution 15 of 1996 established Reserve Fund K entitled Office and Computer Equipment pursuant to Section 6C of the New York State General Municipal Law to provide funding for office and computer equipment for the Town of Olive offices. And whereas the Town of Olive requires the purchase of 2 computer monitors for town operations, and now therefore be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Olive approves transfers not to exceed a total of $1,000 from Reserve K, office and computer equipment, for for the purchase of 2 computer monitors to A0-1410.200 town clerk equipment. Further resolved, resolution number 3 of 2026 is subject to permissive referendum pursuant to section 6C of the general municipal law. Can I make a motion, can I get a motion to move that adoption of that?
Make the motion to approve resolution number 3 of 2026.
And a second?
Second that.
Sarah? Great. Kim, would you please take a roll call vote?
Board Member Maldonado.
Yes.
Board Member Bogus.
Yes.
Board Member Edinger.
Yes.
Board Member Hemingway Lynch.
Yes.
And Supervisor Sbrego.
Yes. I have a hard time with my name, so.
It's been a long day.
It has. The planning board, I spoke to a couple of people on the planning board in the last month or two, and they have expressed a desire to have a town board liaison to the planning board. We had that in the past. It's a little bit of a sensitive situation because town board members are not allowed to influence the decision-making on a planning board. So sometimes their mere presence there or a comment could be misconstrued by an applicant to think that they were being politically motivated to make a decision. But we've all talked about that, and they know that they would like to have the planning board, a town board liaison there. Sometimes the town board is planning things, especially with the comp plan coming up, potential zoning changes, that they would like to have a board member there who can help communicate what's going on in the planning, a town board, and he can come back and maybe explain to us what's going on in the planning board. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Edwin Maldonado as town board liaison to the planning board. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Edwin, you opposed?
I'm on the fence about that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your service. The town had budgeted for a 4x4, or for a vehicle for the building department. And kind of researching this since the budget, we decided that maybe it's best to go for a new vehicle and use some of the money out of contingency because just because of what's out there and the cost of used vehicles versus a new vehicle. We are going to put a sealed bid, an ad in the paper for a 4x4 vehicle for the building department. So I need a motion to authorize the supervisor to place a notice for a sealed bid ad in the Daily Freeman for a new 4x4 vehicle for the building department.
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. We have an alert system in the town, and I hope that everyone is aware of this, and you can go onto the town website and sign up. It is only used for emergency alerts in the town during a storm, a lengthy power outage. We will provide alerts as to where to get help in emergency. This is not a weather app. It's not Central Hudson Utility to tell you when the power is going to be on. This is just for real emergency services. So it's used very, very modestly. We don't want to overuse it and people don't pay attention to it. We only have about 250 or so people on it. It would be great to get this a little bit more. We're going to work on promoting it a little bit more, but it is on the town website. There are cards in the town office that all have a way for you to get on there and sign up. And you'll receive a small alert when there's an emergency if you need to get some help. So anyway, we have a contract, a 3-year contract that expired. Maybe it was a 4-year contract. And they wanted a higher price, so I negotiated it down, and they gave us a pretty fair price. From currently, we were paying $2,904.75. I'm sorry, we were paying less than that. We were paying $2,820. They're going to raise it up to $2,904, and then the annual next year they will raise it up to $3,404.75, and then we'll get a renewal of 3% applied. I believe I got that right. Anyway, I'm asking for a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign new contract with Civic Plus.
I'll make a motion to sign the contract with Civic Plus.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Aaron Smith came in. He's a resident in Sampsonville on County Route 3, and he had in the past over the years car events on his property. He's a Volkswagen Audi mechanic who has a garage on his property, and he has this annual event for Volkswagen Audi enthusiasts to come there and trade, mechanic talk and look at cars, and they have awards and things they give out. There is alcohol served on it, and he does require people that get a pass. There's a 2-tiered pass system, a day pass or an overnight, and people with the overnight are allowed to purchase alcohol. This has been managed really well in the past. There was one horrible experience a few years ago where someone left there and had an accident with one of our town ambulances. Mr. Smith's response to that was to start a Kickstarter campaign and raise $12,000 to help defray the costs of that accident. So he's been a very responsible man doing this. He came in last night. He's working on the application. We had some concerns about certain things that he addressed, but we want to fine tune it a little bit. So he's going to come back next month with the final application, and it'll be before the board next month. We have a police car that has been decommissioned, car number 454, and the highway superintendent, which should be superintendent, has been kind enough to place it on, offer to place it on Auctions International. So I'd like to make a motion to authorize the listing of former police car number 454 on Auctions International and accept the highest bid by the highway superintendent.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There you go, Brian.
Thank you.
Any bid that comes in.
$1.
Yeah.
Work your magic.
Take a look here. Brian Burns, our highway superintendent, put out a sealed bid for Ford F-350s for the highway department, and he had a spec sheet for it and a legal notice put out, and he only received one bid from from Von Bortle in East Rochester, New York, and this was a budgeted amount that Brian had, and the amount came out to $231,877.72, and he would like to go ahead and make that purchase, and he'd like the town's approval. Would anyone like to make a motion to accept the bid from Van Bortle?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the bid from Van Bortle.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Brian, you got yourself 4 new trucks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brian, when do you expect delivery on those?
It's hard to, I'll know better tomorrow, but I would predict end of the summer.
Okay.
Before we see them start of fall, which is always great. I was talking to Edwin earlier. I always like to advertise our surplus. I'd be coming to you, our existing trucks. Like to advertise them on Auctions International closer to fall, where people are looking for snow removal equipment. So it always seems to turn over and get a good buck out of them.
So is that fully outfitted that you'll have them in the summer, or then you still have to?
They're outfitted. We have minimal stuff, lighting and stuff like that. We like to do in-house.
We have been working on this for at least 6-7 months. We have Matthew Rogers from Labella, who was working with us on the comp plan, on the housing plan. He worked with the town to get a grant from the New York State DEC, Hudson River Estuary Program. And the grant was approved months and months ago, And it's for an open space index and plan. And that will be implemented by a company called CC Environmental out of Batavia, New York. They do this work all the time. And we finally got the contract, which was authorized for me to sign, but it took this long for them to actually provide the contract because New York State is New York State and they have to go through a lot of legal hurdles. So we have a nice plan to start working on, and they will be meeting with us soon to explain how that process will work. And I'm excited about that one. I will be looking for people to be on the committee for that, to help, a small committee to help with the guidance for the CC Environmental, to interact with them. The land acquisition in Shokan, the public hearing for that, did I announce that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. Is on February 24th?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry,
17th.
17th. It wasn't in the public hearing. At 6:30. So,
Which one did you say?
It's not on there.
You announced the.
Oh, the
It's
24th.
the-
See meeting.
yeah,
Sorry.
when is the date for the,
February 17th,
It's Tuesday. It's
no, that's right, it's a week, yeah.
at 6:30.
That is the, and that is at 6:30, right?
Yep.
That's the public hearing. And the map is in the back, if you'd like to look at it. Allison looked at it yesterday, and I explained a little to her. So that will be, that stuff is available on the website, I believe, from the last meetings we had with it. And we'll move on from then, once we get that done. The next is, the Shokan Sewer District has 8 major contracts and several subcontracts. These contracts were, we authorized me to sign them. I signed the contracts last month, and they're working out some insurance things and some other requirements that New York City DEP is requiring us to go through, which is kind of putting some delay in it. But one of the things that came up is that there are things that if a normal contractor was doing this work in the town, like digging up the road, they would need to get a road permit and pay a fee. If they were going to build the sewer plant, they would need to get a building permit and pay a fee based on the square footage and things like that. These projects are for the benefit of the town and for the hamlet of Shokan. Property is owned by the town. So when they do these things, they will allow us to have permitting so that we can have our inspectors go in and take a look at things. They have an independent inspector who does all the inspections for each different contract on this. So it does have oversight, but we would like to have our inspector go in and take a look at things as it progresses. So the CWC and I were talking about this, and none of the, they put in, I don't know, 12 or 15 of these sewer districts or sewer wastewater projects within the watershed over the last 20 years. They they don't require permitting from the town. They would like the town to waive the permitting because it's for the interest of the town. So I'd like to make a motion to waive the permitting fees, not the permitting, but the permitting fees for the Shokan Sewer District. Can I
I'll
get
second that.
any discussion? I kind of threw this in at the last minute.
What is the fee normally?
They vary, you know, it could be, for the building, it could be several $1,000s. The road permit fee, it's hard to ascertain because there's so many roads.
And traditionally, depending on the scale of the project or the scale of the opening in a roadway, would be depicted the size of a bond. Normally, I would require a bond put up and make sure there's no future settling or anything, but it's all based on what's being excavated. Sometimes we have a roadway that is not in great shape and really wouldn't require that much of a bond. It's maybe something that's going to be resurfaced in the near future, or it could be a road that we just paved the year prior and want to make sure it's done to perfection and not running risks of
Did we get motions on
Yes, Jim and Dave.
that? Okay.
We didn't.
Any other discussion on it? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Sarah Hemingway Lynch has been working on a project that involves increasing volunteerism in the town of Olive and in Shandaken. And I'm going to let her discuss that if she'd like to kind of fill us in on what she's planning on doing and what the town's participation may be.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, so I just wanted to share an initiative that I've been working on. It's really more about community service, both paid and unpaid volunteerism. Sometimes it always seems to be unpaid, so I'll put it in the category of community service. A couple reasons that sort of inspired me to think about this. One is when I was elected, a lot of people in town said to me that they were, always looking for opportunities to get involved and wanted to know more, and asked me to continue to think about ways in which I could involve others. I also heard, the call from our colleagues and friends in Shandaken, particularly after the death of Michael Ryan and the tragedy of the car crash that affected the Craig family. And for a family, my young family that's grown up in Olive, I have to say that even though I don't know the Craigs personally, our life has been more enriched by their community service because of the amount of events that they put on, from the Christmas tree lighting to the Halloween parade. Every child in Olive I know benefits from their work in Phoenicia. And so because of those two, both of those things happening in the month of December, I worked alongside a few other Olive residents to think about ways that we could actually formalize an initiative that would really be just a platform to connect the multiple opportunities to get involved in community service, both in Olive and in Shandaken, and as a way to show our own leadership and our own, in many ways, we are an example in Olive for community service and volunteerism. Our own rec department benefits from tons of volunteers. Our fire department has multiple volunteers, although I do know that they too would benefit, as Chief Winnie told us just last meeting, from younger volunteers. And so I just thought potentially this could be a great idea, very much aligned with, I know, the clerk's office communication goals, to sort of lift up these opportunities and create a platform to be able to connect people who are interested in getting involved with multiple different things, whether it's the arts and theater or sports or politics or the food pantry or the fire department, multiple different ways in which we could lift up different opportunities to get involved. As I said, some are paid, some are unpaid. I've done a bit of an audit. We've already got 20 different groups who are interested in having more volunteers involved, and so I did speak with the Shandaken supervisor, Barbara Mansfield. She was very appreciative of the idea, immediately opened her Rolodex and connected me with multiple people that could benefit from this. And so I wanted to pursue it, and I'm working alongside other Olive residents who were interested in helping me put together some form and sort of a back end on the computer to make this easy for all of us to connect. And again, it would be just an opportunity to connect. We wouldn't be managing the volunteers. We'd leave that to the organizations, of course. But each of them has already said, I'd be interested in getting, people involved from this time to this time. I need a board member. I need people have very specific, tangible ways that they can engage. And I'm also working with another Olive resident, Sarah Turk, who's an administrator at the school, who also is involved in connecting our high school students with community service opportunities, which is a part of the mission of our school. And so for all those reasons, I thought it would be a great opportunity to try to set a goal this year to launch this initiative and think about potentially even aligning it with the 250th anniversary of our country. And I was going to ask the town board to just promote this initiative potentially at Memorial Day or at Olive Day, where we already are bringing the community together and talk about the importance of community service for rural communities like us being sort of the backbone of our community, and thinking about ways in which we can just show our own, use our own platform to encourage others to get involved and support both our town and Shandaken.
I think it's a great idea. We have a lot of people, new people in the town. No, I don't think that's a secret. And I think that, you know, a lot of them would like to get involved, and to find out those opportunities would be really beneficial to everyone. As well as some of the generational families who might not know of some of the things out there. I'm not sure what we can do at this point, aside from support it. So if you had, we start putting the materials together, we can keep it in our office, you know, for the public that comes into the office. We can distribute things. We can, you know, at Olive Day, you can probably get a booth for free, and you know, we can do all that kind of stuff. But if you come up with other ideas on ways in which we can help, that would be helpful for us. I will say that, you know, we want to keep it to nonprofits. We can't promote a business that makes a profit on a town property. That's pretty clear in the law. But certainly can increase volunteers.
Great, thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
Good. Great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any other business? Okay. Mr. Burns, how's the highway department doing in this wonderful winter? We thank you too. We want to acknowledge that Mr. Burns and the highway crew has been out there relentlessly night after night in these storms.
Better get him out of here.
Because it's freezing rain now.
Yeah, so hurry up and get out of here so we
Yeah,
don't
no,
go.
I gotta say,
Unsafe road.
January's been a very busy month, and hats off to the guys who put a lot of hours in, and we've had some pretty good storms, fared well, equipment wise and whatnot, and we're still in good shape with our sand and salt and whatnot. A little slow coming in right now, but we still have good stock in the barn there, and I know a lot of the salt's coming in on barges, which they're having issues with ice and whatnot, but we're expected to get our order within a week here, so grateful for that. But other than that, we've been certainly a lot of challenging storms month of January, and still continuing it in between addressing danger trees and trimming brush on roads. We're going to be resurfacing next year, and a lot of indoor shop work as well on them cold, nasty days. Grateful to have a group of guys that are phenomenal fabricators. We've had some wear and tear on our plow equipment and whatnot, so grateful to have them guys and get things done in-house. But other than that, I really don't have too much more. I did not bring up last month, but I wanted to bring up our Bostock Crossing Red Maple. We are at 60% as far as that design goes right now, and it's in a comment period, DEP and whatnot weighing in on the design. So I would say next month I'll have some more information on that, and hopefully keep that moving along and get through our LFA here and open up some funding to hopefully get that crossing funded.
Very good. And I want to thank you too for sending out a crew. We have, you remember when DOT was doing some work on the bridge and things, and before the bridge, right around the time the bridge started, they ended up putting that sidewalk in Boyceville, and the school called us up and said, you know, the DOT did not plow the sidewalk. The sidewalk is the same plane and adjacent to the shoulder of the road, which wasn't the town's intention. That's where they ended up putting it. So of course, when they plowed this big storm, there was several feet of snow there on the sidewalk, and you couldn't get to the button for the crosswalk. So the school system called me up and asked if we could look at that and see who's responsible for doing that. And everybody kind of passed the hot potato around to say who's responsible, and the DOT said the town wanted the sidewalk, the town is responsible. And that Brian was kind enough to go out and do a little cleanup there, and now it's walkable, and you can get to the button, push the button to get across the dangerous Route 28. So I appreciate that, and we're going to have to put that on our list of things to do. In fact, do you need a motion for you to do that? Because we do it for the firehouse and all that in the.
Yeah, I don't know how that reflects in the budget, I have to look into that, I don't know, as far as,
As long as we don't have what we just had,
Yeah,
the blizzard, I've been doing it.
Okay,
But with the blizzard and the snowplow vendor of the market, that's where we kinda needed Brian's help, because I couldn't get in there
right.
with the pickup.
So it is our obligation, so let me make a motion to have the highway department and or the facilities department keep that section between the Boyceville Market and the post office driveway for that parking lot. Keep that section clear during the winter months and work it out between you who can do what. Can I get a second for that?
I'll second that.
It's a funny motion, but.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Yeah, I think we can work it out. But it was nice because I went down and looked at it. The plow just did enough so you could reach the button, and it seemed like a pretty.
I know, it'd be nice if, like, second pass of the state, if they just, they always go back and widen out, but
They wouldn't do it.
I get it,
I know.
I know how it works, it's our obligation.
It's hard to go this way.
Yep.
They
Yeah, I
only
know.
go straight, they can't veer to the right a little bit.
Well, thank you both. Okay, you're all done, right, Brian? Do you got anything else?
Yeah,
Olive First Aid. Kim, you got something for us?
Yeah. In January, Olive First Aid responded to 57 calls.
Ooh.
Wow.
Response times remained strong, with the most units en route in under 3 minutes. Over 80% of the calls experienced no delays. Weather impacted just a small number of responses, but it didn't disrupt service overall. There were no deaths reported, and the most common reason for calls were falls, traffic incidents, and general medical complaints. Coordination with other departments was common, particularly with law enforcement. And then Town of Olive Police Department responded to 254 calls in January. The majority were security checks, followed by medical assists, vehicle accidents, and welfare checks. Officers made 2 arrests during the month, including a DWI and leaving the scene property damage incident, and issued 7 tickets. The town court handled 26 defendants in January, primarily vehicle and traffic matters, including 48 tickets and 5 DWI cases, along with 2 felonies, 3 misdemeanors, and 2 small claims filings. And Olive Fire responded to 25 calls in January, which includes 4 auto accidents, 3 structure fires, 1 vehicle fire, 3 automatic alarms, 2 hazardous materials, and 1 of each of the following: smoke investigation, downed wires, carbon monoxide, and a public service call. The department assisted in 2 EMS calls and provided mutual aid twice in Phoenicia, once in West Hurley, Cripple Bush, and Woodstock.
I would like to jump in and just comment on that like a lot of these fires have been from wood stoves and not cleaning out their flues correctly. So I just want to make sure that people understand that they should be maintaining their flue on their wood stove.
And the clerk's office collected and remitted $42,783 in receipts during January. These include payments for building permits, transfer station permits and cards, short-term rental permits, zoning fees, dog licensing, and other clerk administrative services. And as the tax collector, we've collected $8,950,000 in property taxes to date. And that's about 85% of the total 2026 tax warrants. Mail delivery continues to be a challenge though, and we've had over 70 tax bills returned due to unknown addresses, inaccessible mailboxes, and incorrect forwarding information. Payments are arriving well after they've been mailed, and this is particularly noticeable with payments coming from out of town. So I would encourage people to use the online tax bill portal to view tax information and to pay bills. That will help alleviate some of the late fees that people are now experiencing. Residents can also pay in person at the clerk's office Monday through Friday, 8 to 3, or contact us by phone or email to schedule after-hour visits. And finally, we launched the clerk's first monthly newsletter on February 2nd. We had over 200 subscribers, so if you'd like to receive it, just contact the clerk's office by phone or email, and we'll add you to the list. That's it.
Thank you, Kim. Committee reports, Boyceville Committee Planning, we did meet. We are working on some signage. We're kind of getting into the end of that grant, and we're trying to look at different aspects of signage on kind of some of the restrictions of use on the property, but also educational signage on some of the history of the property and on some of the natural environment of the property that has been restored. Once the weather gets nice, if you go out to that little plot behind the IGA where we have the fencing